Hello everyone, it's your boy Rainbow and welcome back to my channel. Today's my birthday and usually on my birthday I stream, but not this year. I don't feel like doing it. I haven't been streaming the last 2 years. And I want to first apologize for that because I know that there's some people that do watch my live streams, but I don't know. I haven't been feeling like live streaming anything, especially this year. But I still want to talk to you guys while I play these awesome, cool math games, aka Papa's Scooperia, Papa's whatever games I'm gonna be playing today. But I want to yap, as I always do, and just talk to you guys about what's been going on. If you guys have been on the know, 2025 is a very chaotic year and very violent, unfortunately. And I want to talk a little bit about that. I know that there's a lot of fear and a lot of hate going around, and this is my message to you guys that it is okay to feel that way, but to not let it control you. I've talked about fear before in the past. Fear stems from attachment. That attachment stems from the ego. The ego is me, my, mine. It's about that fear for survival. That's fear for possession and control. It's about having control and believing that everything is yours, that everything will last forever when it won't. The reason I'm saying this is because let's take the example of a ring, right? Let's say someone gives you a ring and you think you're going to keep that ring forever until the day you die, but then you end up losing it. Or I don't know if you guys have seen those Buddhists that make those beautiful mandalas and then all of a sudden they just wipe it off, especially after hours of hard work. And that is because they're trying to teach us the impermanence of life. Now, where am I going with this? I've talked about the impermanence of life in a previous episode if you guys want to go check that out, but essentially the ego is basically about control and about survival. It's not about living. Everyone is, well, at least those in countries like the US where materialism has a bigger importance than spirituality, everybody is focused on their own survival. Right? Because let's say, for example, if you won the lottery, the first thing that a person would do is keep it for themselves, right? Oh, what can I use this on? And that's fine. But not a lot of people think, oh, I'm going to donate this to charity. I'm going to give this to other people in need. Because everyone is all about me, my. And that is coming from a place of ego. And that ego causes fear. Fear of losing the things that you possess. Fear of not having enough. Fear of this. Fear of people being better than you. And in turn, that's also one of the reasons why people hate is due to fear. Hate stems from cowardice and it stems from fear, right? Think of xenophobia. Phobia or fear towards people that are foreign. Homophobia. Fear against homosexuals. And so whenever one is stuck in fear, they operate from a place of ego. How can I survive? How can I do this? How can I keep this? How do I get more? Right? It comes from a lack mindset because they're trying to fight for survival instead of living. Survival is not living. Survival, again, comes from this place of fear of not having enough. Living is about being grateful and accepting what you have and being comfortable with it, being at peace and coming to terms with it. That's what living is. Being grateful for what you have and what you don't have, and being comfortable with what you have while also being open to new experiences and changes and accepting that. Coming to peace and in terms with that reality. But unfortunately, in this society, we see a lot of that violence rising due to ego, due to greed, due to fear, due to attachment. And the antidote for this, coincidentally, ironically enough, as corny and as cheesy as it sounds, it is love and compassion and unity. See, a lot of the fear and violence stems from the ego, from a selfish person. When we operate from that state or that energy, we put that out into the universe because whether you like it or not, we're all one energy, one consciousness. And I've talked about this in the last episode of Maya. Feel free to check it out. We're all one consciousness, split into different forms. We're all energy. If we all combined our energy together in that frequency of love, then we are strong enough to overcome hate. But we are too focused on the ego. Whether we're right, whether we're wrong, whether someone is morally right, whether someone is morally wrong. You take one side, I take the other side, right? An example of this would be the gender wars going on. Men versus women. And I want to say this, and I don't want to sound rude or anything. This is not my intention. I'm just trying to sort of provide an example, if you will. Men and women both have problems. Men have problems that need fixing, which makes it justified as to why women are angry at them. But also women need fixing as well. Women have problems. But if you zoom out beyond the women versus men thing, you would start to see that the root of the issue is not men or women, but the patriarchy, which is built by men, but also enabled by women who have internalized that misogyny and that patriarchal belief. And the one way that we can end that war is by having compassion for one another, empathy, but also understanding that fighting amongst each other is not going to solve the issue. It's not. If anything, it's going to make the issue worse, and we would be enabling the patriarchy even more by fighting amongst ourselves. We fight amongst ourselves not knowing that the real issue is a system that needs to be dismantled. The patriarchy has been hurting both men and women for centuries. It makes men fit into this mold that they can't cry, they can't be expressive, they can't be vulnerable, which then makes them emotionally frustrated. And then you have the patriarchy trying to mold the woman into the traditional wife, being stuck at home, not being able to have a career, or the gender inequality gap in terms of pay. Women get paid less in jobs. There's the pink tax situation, right? For any hygienic products that are quote unquote pink, there's a tax added to it. You have health care rights being taken away from women at this time, right? So, both men and women have problems that need to be addressed. But they don't realize that what is causing those problems is the patriarchy. And the one way that we can have a solution to these problems is by talking to one another and working together instead of fighting each other. But alas, I feel that humanity still has a long way to go in order for us to reach that level. And I think another problem with why we're fighting amongst each other, apart from the ego, right, being one of the reasons, is due to the energy. As I said before, we're all one energy, one consciousness. But that energy is enabled by a person in power. The reason I say this is because in the Bhagavad Gita, in chapter 3, verse 21, it says, whatever actions great persons perform, common people follow. Whatever standards they set, all the world pursues. So naturally, when you have a leader in power, you reap what you sow, right? So when you have a leader in power that is hateful, that is violent, that is instilling fear into everyone, naturally, people will follow. Whether you like it or not, consciously or unconsciously, people follow. People start arguments. People start fighting. People start ensuing violence. That is why we say, with great power comes great responsibility. If you have great responsibility, great knowledge, especially power and influence, use it for good, so that the people that follow you as an example can follow you with great virtue. Right? Because you never know if you're going to inspire a future leader or future president. That is why it is important to set good standards and good morals and good lessons. And the reason why I say this is because whether you like it or not, the person in power right now, especially, is setting an example for violence and hate and separation and discord. And naturally, people follow, whether you support or not. unconsciously that energy affects you in some way, because again, we're all one consciousness, we're all one energy, we're all one. And so naturally, as a collective, we're all affected by his decisions, his morals, his values, or the person in power's, morality and energy, right? And so that is why you see that, due to the leaders in power, of course. And it is the duty of a leader to be a good example and to protect the vulnerable. It's interesting that this came to mind as I'm talking about this. So I recently watched Mahavatar Narasimha. For those of you that don't know what that is, it's a film from India that talks about one of the stories of the avatars of Lord Vishnu. Lord Vishnu is the god of righteousness and protection. And he takes an avatar to defeat demons and to restore balance in the world and to defeat evil. And so Lord Vishnu takes the form of Narasimha, half man, half lion, and defeats the demon Hiranyakashipu. Now, what's interesting about this story in this movie, now I would say spoilers, but this story is pretty famous, pretty well known, especially in India, so I don't feel like I'm spoiling anything. But if you feel like you want to watch this movie, I will put a timestamp so that you can continue watching this video and skip the spoiler. Check it in the description. But essentially, the essence of the movie was that there was a devotee named Prahlad. Now, Prahlad was born among the demons. The reason why this is interesting is because demons tend to fear Vishnu. They tend to fear him, or they want to defeat him and destroy him. There has never been a story where a demon falls in love with Lord Vishnu, right? But Prahlad was a different case. He became a devotee of Lord Vishnu, and in one of the scenes of this beautiful film, one of the teachings that they try to tell towards the children is that a leader should be powerful and hurt the vulnerable and hurt the weak. But Prahlad, whenever one of his subjects or one of his friends was being hurt and bullied, he basically protected him. And instead, the friends were like, oh, a king's duty is to protect the vulnerable, not hurt them. And so the same thing can be applied to a leader, right? A leader's duty is to protect the vulnerable, to make sure that they're safe, to make sure that their subjects are happy. And we have seen that time and time again in the Ramayana as well. I hope to be able to tell the story of the Ramayana soon, but it's a very long epic. But either way, it's another epic I love, and it also tells us what to do. And so, unfortunately, the leaders of our society, or those with great power and great influence, are not using their power or influence with great responsibility, meaning they are not speaking up, they are not calling out people's injustices and corruption. The great leaders in power are simply being quiet because of fear, because of ego. And it's sad to see, really. And you may feel, right, you as a person watching this video, you may feel helpless. When is this going to end? When is this, when is this hatred going to end? And I don't have an answer for that, but what I do have is a solution, an antidote. One of the things that I really loved about Muslims, and I'm sorry I'm talking in different directions here, but when I, was getting to know about Islam and Ramadan and the Quran, one thing that I learned is that Muslims always say that for every disease that exists, Allah has created a cure. And so I believe that the solution to the seeds of hatred and discord and separation and division amongst our people is unity, love, compassion, empathy. Because even a drop or a seed of love is enough to break a heart made out of stone. And I know that sounds cheesy, I know that sounds corny, I know this may not be the answer that you guys may want to hear, but it is the truth. And I know it's not easy. I know it's not easy to love someone, especially your enemy. I know it's not easy to love someone who has sowed those seeds of hatred. I know. But when I say love, unity, and compassion, I mean starting small. What I mean by this is a lot of you guys may feel helpless. You guys may be like, I'm just a person. What can I do? I feel helpless. I feel like I'm not doing enough. Usually when I do behind the scenes charity work, and this is something about me, and I'm only gonna say this once, but behind the scenes I've been doing volunteering, charity work, and donating to people in Watermelon. The reason why I don't want to share that on the internet or boast about it is because I don't believe in performative activism. I believe that your actions show more of who you are than what you show in a performative setting. I'm against being fake, and I am all about being authentic, and I don't like boasting about what I do behind the scenes. And I encourage you guys to volunteer and donate, but I understand that not everyone is able to. That is why you guys see me, like a broken record, talk about my link tree, because I have resources in there that could help you and could help others. But yeah, the reason why I don't talk about what I do is because I don't like boasting in front of people. But the reason why I'm bringing this up now is because when I do these sort of things behind the scenes, right, helping people, sometimes I feel good helping people, but sometimes I feel like I couldn't do enough. Whenever I'm helping one person, another person comes to me for help, and then another person comes to me for help, and it's like I can't help everybody, and it makes me so frustrated. It makes me feel angry that I don't have all of the resources all the time to help people in need, and it makes me so angry and frustrated. But I also have to remind myself I did the best that I could, and that is okay. And the same thing I'm telling you guys, if you donated even just $1, you made a difference. You changed the world. You did everything you could. If you interacted with those Dubai chocolate TikToks, okay, that are helping families in need right now, or if you commented something below a post, then you made a difference in this world. One simple action of kindness is enough to create a ripple in this entire universe. And in this day and age, especially in these times that we're living in, where there's chaos, where there's fear, you may feel like you're not doing enough. You may feel that fear and evil is more powerful right now. But let me remind you that a house is not built overnight. A tree does not grow overnight. A tree grows, a seed grows into a tree with proper care, with proper nurturing, with proper patience. It's like when you're building a house, right? You start with the foundation, you start with the outline, then you build it brick by brick and make sure that it is a solid foundation. Because if you do it too fast, guess what? The house will crumble, right? And the same thing with the tree. If you try to hurry it up, it won't grow. If you neglect it even for one day, then the tree will potentially die. And the same thing I'm telling you guys is stick together. Work together. Okay, start small. Start building small. Start building your communities. This is why I started my YouTube channel, because I understand how love works. I spread my wisdom and my knowledge, and I give it to you guys for free. And then you will spread that knowledge to other people. Then those people will spread it on to other people, right? Or maybe, I created this community to attract like-minded people like me, and then you guys will build on your own communities, and then we'll become a big family together. If we all unite and stand strong with one another, we can make a difference. See, $1 may look insignificant to somebody, but if 10,000 people had $1 each, 10,000 times 1 is $10,000. You see how a small, what seems insignificant, can be big if people united and work together to make a difference, to change the world. And that is what gives me hope in these chaotic times. It is unity. There are still people in this world that are good, that are empathetic enough to care for the world, that still love humanity, that still create that faith in humanity. And my advice to you all is, if you feel helpless, don't feel that way. We're all trying our best. Start small. Start building your necessary steps. And I've talked about this as well in my suffering episode, if you guys want to look at the last parts of the episode. But I basically said how you can change the world there. But I'm going to sum it up in here in case you don't have time. The first step that you can do to make a difference if you have nothing is start a community. Like me, I started my YouTube channel with nothing. I only started it with a humble laptop and, some editing tricks here and there. Right? And over time, I just built my community over time, and I'm really grateful for you guys. 1,000 of you chose me as your community, and I'm really thankful for that. So start your community now, and it doesn't just have to be online or social media. It could be in your neighborhood, right? Your neighbors, your friends, your family. Talking about ways that you guys can help one another and help others in need. How can I use my resources and my gifts and abilities and talents to help the world? That should be your next step. What are you good at? Are you good at cooking? Are you good at baking? Are you good at making people laugh? Are you good at playing games? Are you good at yapping like I am, right? And so enhance and practice using those abilities and gifts and talents to help others. And, slowly but surely, over time, with patience, with nurturing, you will build a strong foundation and create a ripple effect in this world. You are important and you are worthy. Don't ever let anybody tell you you're not. You are important, you are worthy, and you are most definitely needed in this world. There's a reason why you were born here on this earth at this specific time. There's always a reason why we are born. Maybe it is to fulfill a mission or an important part in somebody's life. But regardless, you are important and you are needed. And the proof is your existence, because you are here listening to me. You are here living. You are here. And that is what truly matters. And I am thankful that you have given me your presence, your time, and your love at this time. Thank you so much for listening. And thank you so much for being patient with me as I yap. But that's all I wanted to say when it comes to my birthday wishes. But yeah, that's the message I wanted to give out today because of everything that's been going on. Stand strong, build your communities, build them, okay? Start small. I know it's not going to be overnight, but start small, start somewhere. Okay, I know some of you guys who have been following me have communities. Some of you guys have been growing your communities, which I'm really proud to see. It's amazing to see how many of you guys have grown. I've met some of my early subscribers, and now all of a sudden they have like thousands and tens of thousands of subscribers. It's like, whoa. Like, I'm just so happy and proud that everyone, or at least most people, are trying to make a difference, slowly but surely. And that's all I wanted to say in terms of that. Have compassion, listen to one another, right? Help one another if you can, and stay strong, stay united, work together, and love one another especially. Because love isn't about hatred or feeding the fire with more fire, but rather finding a balance of acceptance, finding nurturing, finding compassion, and listening to one another, accepting one another's differences, and calling each other out with respect in order for you guys to grow and to become the best version of yourselves. And love isn't controlling, it isn't fearful. Love is peaceful because it comes with acceptance. It is peaceful. It should never feel forced. It should never feel controlling or possessive. It should feel peaceful. It should feel like a river flowing, or an ocean with the waves dancing, or the air you breathe. It shouldn't feel like you're choking. It shouldn't feel like you're struggling to survive or live. You shouldn't have to feel like you're walking on eggshells. Love is about breathing, feeling free, feeling happy, being at peace with yourself, and being your weird, unique, authentic self. You don't have to hide behind a mask or fake being a persona. Love is about acceptance. acceptance for your weird and authentic self, and dropping any masks, and learning how to be vulnerable and to feel safe. That is the number one thing about love. It'll never make you feel unsafe. It'll always be a safe place. It is a safe home. It should make you feel safe, protected, and at peace. My birthday wish for this year is for everyone to feel that peace. Unfortunately, this year I've noticed a lot of my favorite couples, for whatever reason, go through divorces, go through breakups, and I myself, have witnessed and experienced heartbreak. And let me just say, it saddens me to see that, but also it's just a part of life. Grief, heartbreak, pain is a part of life, but it's meant to teach us to grow and to endure and to be resilient, to not to break even at the most lowest points in our life. But yeah, that's one of the reasons why my wish this year is peace, is because happiness and sorrow comes and goes like the seasons. One day you're happy, another day you're not. But when you're at peace, it doesn't matter if you're happy or if you're sad. When you're at peace, nothing bothers you. Or I guess you could say, like, you have the strength and the resilience to move forward when you're at peace. When you're at peace, you don't have to worry about walking in eggshells, around eggshells, or walking on eggshells around anybody. Peace feels like you're able to breathe and be free and live. And it's absolute freedom, absolute bliss being at peace. And coming to terms with your life, your reality, and yourself especially. Having peace within and accepting those parts of yourself that are your shadow, that are your light self, that just basically it teaches you how to love yourself fully and accept those flaws, not as weaknesses, but as points that you can overcome and work on to become the best version of yourself. That is what peace is. Peace is about not wanting more and more and more and feeling like you don't have enough, but being grateful for life, being grateful for what you have, being grateful for what you don't have, and sharing that gratitude with others, while also being in comfort with what you have, being satisfied with what you have in this life. That is what peace is. Well, at least it is to me. And I wish everyone peace in their life. Peace will give you that clarity and that strength, even in the worst of storms. Peace and will give you that satisfaction when you're dealing with the duality of happiness and sadness throughout life. And I'm really thankful to have experienced that peace through the divine, through a lot of these different religions that I've spent my life learning about. And we definitely do need peace at this time. And I do wish everyone peace. And that's my birthday wish for everybody. And what's funny is a lot of people wish for food and materialistic things, but I've also learned that life is impermanent. People come and go, relationships come and go, friends come and go. Nothing is certain in this world. Your body even changes. Your body can grow and, grow wrinkles and stuff. And yeah, it's impermanent. Your life situations are impermanent. One day you're at your home chilling, next day you're in Switzerland or whatever, or Japan or Korea, right? And that's why I also wish for peace, is not only to find peace within, but also to be open and accept those new changes, to adapt, to be like water, to adapt to these new adventures and new beginnings, and be open to enjoying life, just simply living, and seeing the beauty of life around you, in seeing the beauty even in chaos. So the reason why I say this is because I was actually watching the vlog that got this man viral from the protests in Nepal, I believe. And despite the chaos and the revolution going on there, there was still beauty that I witnessed in that vlog, and it was the people. The people went up to the reporter, or the vlogger in this case, and offered him water, offered him kindness, and asked him if he was okay, and stuff like that, you know, and seeing the beauty of the people uniting against injustice and corruption as well. That was another beautiful thing. But yeah, before I end this video, I do want to say, if you had your birthday recently, if you're about to have it in the future, happy birthday. If not, no worries. If you are in India or Hindu, happy Navratri. Surprisingly, my birthday it always falls around a very auspicious occasion. So happy, Navratri to my Hindu brothers and sisters. May Goddess Durga provide you with a lot of blessings and prosperity. If you are Catholic and you celebrate the day of Archangel Michael, apparently today is Michaelmas, which is the day of Archangel Michael. So, may Archangel Michael, the protector of justice, ensure that there's bread and water and food on your table and bring you protection and blessings to you and your families. I know it's been really hard, especially for me this year, and I know it has been hard for a lot of people as well. But regardless, we're still here, and that's what matters. And no matter the pain and the grief I've been through, I'm still grateful for it, because that pain and grief have taught me to become a better person. And pain and grief are teachers, and they teach us a lot about life. And I'm grateful to be on this journey of life with you guys and sharing my experiences with you guys. And I do want to also say I'm really thankful that you guys have the patience to hear me yap and listen, and thank you for devoting your time and your attention towards me and watching this video fully and supporting the channel as well. And shout out to one of my lovely commenters named Angel or Misty. I don't know what to call them. I apologize, but they've been commenting on almost every single video. I just thought to give a shout out at this time. Super grateful for them, and thank you so much for commenting. Thank you so much for watching my videos. Thank you so much for supporting me, and thank you to you guys as well. For those of you that just watch, even if you just watch and don't do the rest, like comment or like, that's fine. I'm still grateful to you. And thank you to those of you who have made my community grow as big as possible. I am still shocked and surprised that I have 1,000 of you guys in our community now, and our community is growing and growing, and I'm so happy to know that, and I'm extremely grateful. But yeah, back to what I was saying. I don't wish for anything materialistic, because I know that everything is impermanent, and to be honest, I just came here to enjoy life. I'm grateful for what I have and what I don't have, and I wish to share more of what I do have for you guys and for those in need. That is my biggest wish, and hopefully, we are able to do so if our community grows bigger. And yeah, I wish you guys the best the rest of this year. I wish you guys the best. Please stay safe. Please stay safe. Many blessings. And again, thank you so much. Lots of love and gratitude to all of you guys. Sorry this was a very long video, but I just wanted to share my thoughts and share what I had to say. Thank you so much for listening, and thank you for hearing me yap. Until next time, peace and love out.